Hey, and welcome. Doing another vintage review. Very excited about this one. We're in the 40th anniversary year of Transformers. However, I'm going to be doing a non-Transformer, official Transformer review today. This is related. This is back from the golden days of amazing toys at restaurants, in particular Happy Meals. You can already tell from the title what this is, but there was a great set back in the early 90s, late 80s, and it was transforming Happy Meal toys. And this is back when toys were awesome at McDonald's and you actually kept them for a long time past their prime, not just thrown away or moved on. They actually had value. They were actually really, really cool. These in particular are dated 1990, so I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, this wave of toys. So I have a whole bunch of them here that I was able to dig out from my own personal archives that I'll be showing you guys. Very excited about them. I forgot about a lot of these, like maybe you did too. And this isn't all of them. There are more. I do not have every single one, but I probably have the ones you're thinking of, but there were other ones as well. Some variations, like there is a Big Mac and I forget what the two stack is, but they had all sorts of those. They had a Happy Meal one. And there were just so many different ones at the time. It was just so cool. Absolutely love these. They combined robots and dinosaurs and breakfast food and lunch food and all sorts of different aspects. And there were a couple waves of these over a couple year period. So they were definitely cherished. And it's really cool if you could track these down nowadays at flea markets or other sales. You'll see them in a bin tossed aside, but they're still pretty cool. There's actually a little market for these, so it could be tricky trying to get all of them without being too pricey, but very cool, very great toys, very Transformer-ish at a time when Transformers was at its height. I mean, it's still really big, but this is just in the first decade of Transformers, so it was definitely growing at that point. So I'm going to we're going to transform these guys out and let you check them out. This little, classic piece of Americana here, these amazing Happy Meal toys, and the back in the period when it was awesome to be a kid and get a McDonald's Happy Meal. So why don't you come in and check these out. We're going to try something different today so I can maximize your guys' viewing space of these characters. So I'm going to be behind the camera and I'll let you see them up close, and we'll open him here and transform them. So we have this milkshake one here, or I don't just drink, and this was a very simple transformation where the arms kind of came out. This became the feet here, and then you could see the hand here on the arm, and I think I was supposed to turn this one first before I did that, but yeah, this one comes down like that. So this was basically it. This was the whole little robot here. There was nothing else that came out. I don't think there was. Nope, that was it. So very, very simple one, but it got your point across that this was a robot. He was a drink. Here's the other one. It was just a different color scheme, and this one I think was more dinosaur inspired. So like I said, they went robots, they had dinosaurs, there was a combination of both. This one had a tail that came out as well, as you can see right here. And he was, just this little dinosaur as opposed to the robot there on the right. So two versions of that shake, but both kind of the similar shell, as you can see there. They just had a different take. So I guess they kind of recycled that shell and then just made a different version of the character. So after these two guys, we tucked them away here in the back, we have some French fries. Now, the French fries, I think this is the one I remember the most with the green face. Yep. And he had the arms come out here, and I think the legs dropped down a little bit, but that was it. And he was kind of like a little robot here. Very cool little French fry robot. Fun. You just get this guy to pop him open like that. And then we have this other version here, and this one is more of a dinosaur, I think. Yep. So like I said, two versions of these things over time. We have the dinosaurs and we have the robots. So I think they just kind of reuse these molds a lot. And here these just kind of drop down. Then you had these little feet, and then you had this kind of, I don't know, Fryosaurus looking character here. I mean, which ones do you guys like more? I kind of like the robot ones more, particularly with this one, than I did the dinosaurs. But some of them I end up choosing the dinosaurs just because it's a lot more fun. Next up, we have a couple pairs of the burgers, and I think these patties are all kind of different. You could tell there's a darker meat here and a lighter meat here. There was a lot of burger ones, so they were all kind of different. And they just basically all opened the same. They just kind of leant upward here, and then the arms came out. and that was really it for the burgers. The double-decker ones, similar, they're just a little taller. I don't think there was anything else in the base. Yeah, they just made them a little bit taller, a little bit more complete looking than the other patties. And then we go here, and we have the these ones are a little bit more involved. I think this was a later year. We could see on here, this is 1990, and this is 1987. So yes, this was a later year. So I think the dinosaurs came afterward. I'm not sure if this is a dinosaur. We'll find out when we get it open. So this slid out in tandem, and then I know there's a way to open it. Yep, this is a dinosaur. So we can see its tail here, and then it's hidden here in the meat. So there's a face. So we kind of had them like this. I mean, look how well that was hidden there. Like, you didn't see that unless you were looking for that little gap. So they blended that in really well. That is a really fun designed toy. Again, back when Happy Meals were awesome. I mean, you got these really awesome toys in that were collectibles. I mean, you didn't throw them away. Talk about that amazing Mario line when the game came out too. And then we have another one here where this one had the limbs in the bottom, and you could make it stand. This one, not as much fun. This one just kind of sat there like that. I mean, it was hit or miss with these. Like this one is a pretty fun little design to him. The burgers were kind of fun where they kind of popped out. They're like little sentries or something like that. But this one, not so much. But you could see how they kind of recycled this again. Slightly different color scheme, and then just kind of changed them up. Let's try to keep these guys separated here. We got robots and we got dinosaurs. All right, so after that, well, we have one, I think, breakfast sandwich. I don't know if there was a robot counterpart, or this is the robot. I don't know if there was a dinosaur counterpart. This is the only one I have. So we have the robot here, and I think this just pushed up from the bottom, and that's how you got them to pop up. And again, very similar to the burger robots. He just kind of was like this floating sentry with the fists. Can't do much by way of combat, but that's just sort of the way they had him set up there on this little Egg McMuffin is what this is essentially. So I just love how you could then do that, and then you got your Egg McMuffin, and then push it out here, and then you got your little robot sentry. So that was kind of the fun of these things. Literally playing with your food was, I think, the way they were marketed. So that was great. So here we have 2 Chicken McNuggets. This is the one I remember the most. This was the dinosaur or turtle kind of dinosaur thing. So he had legs that came out the side of the 6-piece chicken nugget box. And then he had a head here that would, oh, and a tail. So the head, I'm not sure how to get, here we go. The head was a little sticky. And we get the head to flick out there. And then we have this turtle-looking chicken nugget box that otherwise was just a chicken nugget box. So another point for the Team Dinosaur. And then we had an earlier version, and I think this is the robot one. Again, this one's just going to pop up. And you can see that familiar theme here. They're just kind of like little sentries that don't move much. So that's why I think in some cases the dinosaurs were a lot more fun, because now it's kind of like a mobile little turtle, and it works perfectly with this box. Or is this just another box that just opens up? A guy pops out of it like all the hamburgers. I mean, you're seeing this theme here of, you know, pop-up guy, pop-up guy, pop-up guy, pop-up guy. Like, there's not a lot of imagination here. I do love the fries, though. But, you know, the dinosaurs were a little different. They kind of used the food like shells and sort of capitalized on that. The hot cakes here, I think there was a hot cake for the robot. This is the dinosaur one, and this is one of my favorites because it turned into a pterodactyl. Like, how cool is that to turn into this pterodactyl here? And then easily back into hotcakes, and then you just have your food. Hey, look, I have hotcakes. So this was just a really cool one. Absolutely love this. It's easy to transform. It's like a fun little fidget toy, and he's to me, he's one of the best ones in the line. And you can swoop him around. So definitely a really cool one. I'll put him here in the back. But that one, I think there is a robot part. I just don't know what the robot one does. So this one is ice cream. I don't think I've actually seen this one before. Obviously I have it, but I can't remember this one. This one is a dinosaur. Look at that. Now there's probably a robot counterpart I just don't have, but this is more of a fist, as you can see, than a little robot hand. So he's a little bit more detailed, but that's it. He just kind of busts out of the cone. Maybe he's a hurricane dinosaur. I don't know. I like the color scheme there, but not much going on with this guy. Not a favorite here. And these were hit or miss. I mean, I guess you could request a specific character, but you know, these were kind of hit or miss at the time on what you got. And then the last one I have is a Happy Meal. I'm not sure what this one is. We're going to find out together. This one, it looks like it's going to be a dinosaur. So yeah, we have the head here. We have the legs. Yeah, the legs are coming down this way. And there's got to be a tail somewhere. It's just too large not to have one. No, I guess that's it. Oh, here we go. Here's the hands up here, and then these are the bottom legs. Doesn't seem to be a tail unless I'm missing this. Nope, there's no way to like spin this McDonald's symbol. It looks like you could do more with it on the inside, but there's no way to spin it or anything like that, or push it in or take it out. So I guess there is no tail. So I think that's it for this one. He just kind of sits there. Doesn't have any direction. He just kind of is like sitting down dinosaur. Really nicely detailed face, and it's something fun to do with the box. But as you can see, I'll pan out here. We have all our guys, and there are quite a bit of them. And this was not all of them. I think there are like another 6 to 8 more of these characters. There were a lot over a couple of years, and I think it started in 86 or 87 and went to 90 or 92, somewhere in there. So it had, I mean, it didn't run constantly. Like they took a stop and then started it up again. So I think it was like 86, 88, 90, and then 92. But these are a mixture of a couple of the waves there. But you get kind of a good idea at how cool these guys are, and just how much they got going on. And then some of them are a little bit lamer, but as a kid, and you have the chance to take this stuff that looks like food and then convert it from that into a fun toy, that is just really cool. Particularly at the time where we had Transformers, and Transformers were mostly just cars that turned into robots, not food that turned into robots. So this was taking that sort of concept and you know, making it a little bigger, a little world building ish. But you know, you got some really cool ones, and I do really like this. This Fry one was a lot more involved than the other ones, and it's just simply because he has legs. I mean, it's a lot more than just the other ones. I mean, he has the head that pops up, the legs that come down, the arms that go back, and the arms actually have some reach, and he's not constrained by some kind of lip of a device like this. So this Fry one was pretty cool. And then this Hotcake one, as I showed you twice already, was just a lot of fun too, to transform and use. So a nice mixture. Again, a really great, awesome Happy Meal toy as a kid to have these things, and to have them again still as an adult. They're really fun. I think that they were great. I know it's all McDonald's. It's not official Transformers or anything like that, but it's definitely fun to have these, and they were a great piece, and they stood the test of time. I mean, these colors held up very well. I don't see any fading. I guess I didn't have them in sunlight or anything like that, but these held up pretty well. The joints haven't fallen apart or anything over the years. I mean, these are clearly 30 to 35 years old at this point, so pretty good. So that is a nice quick look at these vintage McDonald's Transformers inspired toys. Something different, right? I mean, we like to try something different every now and then here on the channel, just to experiment, just to show you guys some cool stuff. I love taking the time to look back at vintage toys and really appreciate them again, partly because a lot of them are coming back. I mean, look at Hasbro and its retro line for Star Wars, for Indiana Jones, and I guess the sort of retro aesthetic inspired Ghostbusters figures that are coming out, for G.I. Joe, the Marvel Legends throwbacks to the Toy Biz figures. I mean, it's out there. Like, people love getting those retro colors, those retro compared products, like we showed you with the Transformers MDLX vintage animation colors. People love that. People really love it. It's fun. It's a chance with the technology now to really nail those fine details that were in those classic cartoons, like we see Mondo doing with the Batman line from the animated series. It's absolutely amazing. Or the McFarlane Batman animated series. Or behind me when I showed you guys the Super 7 G1 Megatron and Optimus that look like spot on for their cartoon counterparts. So it's great to see those where we could actually get those details, because the toys back then did not quite fit the address it. I mean, they were just a little off or way off, and you know, they were inspired by the animated series back then, but they missing a lot of details. But now with the technology we have, I'm able to scan these in 3D and make these molds molds, and we're getting very, very close to screen accurate versions, and it's a lot greater if you're a kid into those shows and you can see those, or as a collector to connect with that show that way. So it's always great to go back and vintage and appreciate like just what we had at the time that is inspiring so many toys right now. And I mean, no short point in case here, these transforming McDonald's toys. Now, I hope you enjoyed this look. We're definitely gonna have more vintage and throwback reviews for you guys to check out some older products, just because I think the time is right now. We have a little bit of a lull and a lot of newer products coming out. Things have gotten pushed back for whatever reason. So we have time and space to explore some of these older products before we're at conventions or other shows too. So now is a great time to do this. So we'll be focusing on a lot of different vintage or other sort of our retrospectives we do. So please tune back for those. And we're gonna have new products as well. We're gonna mix them in. There are some new things coming out right now. So we will mix in the new stuff so you guys can see that too. So as always, like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.